This is Monday with the Messiah for July the 13th, 2026, here on Following Him, the Disciple Life. The Messiah identified with the Jews. In John chapter 4, we have Jesus in Samaria, and he encounters a Samaritan woman at a well, and he asks her for a drink. And so she replies in verse 9, "How is it that you, being a Jew, ask a drink from me, a Samaritan woman?" So she identifies him as Jewish. And then we have John's inspired commentary. "For Jews have no dealings with Samaritans." So both the Samaritan woman and John identify Jesus as Jewish. And then when it becomes obvious that Jesus, well, he's at least a prophet, we have in verse 20 the woman stating, "Our fathers worshipped on this mountain, and you Jews say that in Jerusalem is a place where one ought to worship." So once again, now somebody might say, "No, hold on a second. The word Jews there, that's italicized, so that was added by the translators for clarity." Well, yeah, it was added by translators for clarity because that is the group that was in conflict with the Samaritans over the proper place to worship. But if there's any doubt still, we go down to verse 21. Jesus said to her, "Woman, believe me, the hour is coming when you will neither on this mountain nor in Jerusalem worship the Father. You worship what you do not know. We," now notice that pronoun we know what we worship. Now who's the we? "For salvation is of the Jews." Now that last statement, there's a lot of discussion to be had about that statement. That statement is not a statement that would be telling us that the law of Moses is still binding now and that sort of thing. That's a whole other discussion, what it means to say that salvation is of the Jews. But there very clearly, with the use of that pronoun we, Jesus himself is identifying with the Jews. The Messiah was going to come from Judah and from the house of David. Jesus had to be Jewish to fulfill the prophecies, to show that he was a Christ. And here we have an example where he's very clearly both the woman, the other person that was there, the Samaritan woman, the inspired commentator, and then Jesus himself, very clearly identifying him with the Jews. You have a good rest of the day, and shalom.